A truly horrifying number of idiots seem to believe that gross and immoral are somehow the same thing. This is a very, very stupid delusion and not a good way of coming to moral conclusions. I constantly hear from people, including most disappointingly the odd left-leaning person, that something is immoral because it is gross, or something like that. This is far more common from right-wingers, however, who base half of their arguments on this trash. Right-wingers love to appeal to the disgust reflex, which is why right-wing pundits constantly talk about stuff like gay sex and gender transition surgery. Because most people have a disgust reflex, and when you make emotional appeals to this disgust reflex, it can be a lot easier to win them over than by making real arguments. However, gross and immoral are not the same. To be immoral, something must cause some kind of harm, at least in my view it must. Whether or not morality is objective or subjective is a whole other question, but morality is not determined by something being gross. Disgust is an extremely subjective and personal emotion, and it should not be dictating a society. There are a lot of things that are disgusting, but that have no real impact on you. This constantly comes up particularly with sexual issues, where people are grossed out by some form of sex, and they will claim that it is therefore immoral. Now, this is very problematic because a lot of these things are immoral in no way and they don't hurt anyone. Good examples could be something like gay sex or whatever. Or gender transition surgery is another thing they love to hint at. But these things are not immoral, and to be honest, it's very simple. If you find something gross, how about you just don't look at it, because no one's making you. You don't have to look at these things, you don't even have to think about them. So if you find something gross, then just stop thinking about it or stop looking at it. If something is immoral, meanwhile, it is actually a negative and bad thing that needs to be taken care of by society. So gross and immoral are wildly different things. People need to grow up and realize that these things are very, very different, and they need to stop making this primitive and childish mistake where they think that these things are the same. It's very stupid, and delusions like this only send society in a bad direction.